Cheat on me, I'll get your child support raised and your car repoed. First, the child support. So I was with my ex-husband for about 10 years. When I first met him, he knocked up his previous GF before meeting me, basically kind of ghosted her. Now reflecting back on what happened, convinced me it was her keeping him away from his kid and that he was just the poor victim in all of it. She had taken him to court, got child support for $324 a month for a while, then tried to take him back to get it increased cause she thought he was working and making more, but it backfired and it got reduced to $112 a month. It stayed like that for about 6 to 7 years, and he actually got behind a couple of times just paying this because he'd lose a job here or there. One of the many ways he convinced me to move out of my home state to his, there's more jobs in his home state and cost of living is cheaper. Come 2018, I decided to leave him because he wasn't putting in the effort to find a job that would support both of us while I went to nursing school. I had been working the same full-time federal government job and doing school part-time, our entire relationship supporting us, while he went to school for medical billing and coding and didn't do anything with it once he was done. His excuse, they're outsourcing these jobs to India. He bounced from one job to another for one reason or another. Once it came time for me to actually finally apply to a nursing program, I told him he needed to finally step up. He told me he would, but never said what he was doing. He would come home from work and complain about the work and the people he worked with. He was eventually fired from that job because his boss said he worked way too slow and he was delaying orders going out for the company. We also had a bit of a dead bedroom, so that also pushed me to want to leave him. I finally decided to leave and the ex moved in an ex-roommate a couple months later. She had lived with us previously because she found out her first husband had cheated on her. We had decided to help her get on her feet and she met her second husband, then moved out. Why is this important? Because 4 months after I left, I found emails with pictures of this ex-roommate that my ex was forwarding to a secret email account I had no clue about. They had been a lot more friendly than I had realized for over 4+ years. The ex-roommate who was living in our marital home was separate from her second husband because my ex didn't like him in the house. Granted, I didn't like him either cause he was a sleazebag who was also cheating on her, but I digress. My ex even got friendly with his ex-wife. I was wife number 2, and a third person I didn't recognize. Then found out my ex knocked up the roommate 2 months after being official. I didn't get to confront my ex or her with this other than me writing an email and attaching the photos I now had. I had to do something else. So I reached out to my ex's GF who he has his first child with. He's made no effort to be in his kid's life, a source of fights for us here and there, and I tried a few times over the years of reaching out to her and establishing a relationship between them. My mom has a bigger relationship with a kid she has no relation to than my piece of poop ex. I told her I left him, that he was making way more money at his job and she should file to have it looked at. She did and got it increased to $264 a month. Now for the repo of the car. After I left, he decided to buy a brand new Chevy Equinox for over $32,000. I have access to his Credit Karma account, so that's how I know. He works commission-based sales selling furniture, TVs and appliances. He doesn't bring home much. He actually opened a credit card through his work, bought $5,000 worth of stuff to furnish the house, then let it go to collections. He used my contact info and they called me trying to collect on it. The payments on that new car was about $634 a month. He made 2 payments then stopped. Now we had bought a house together before I left and he finally agreed to sell our marital home after getting behind on the payments and not doing what he needed to keep it. We had over 60% equity in the house. He decided to use his half of the sale to buy a smaller house outright instead of paying off his debt. His logic has always been, if I don't have a house payment the other bills are affordable. Part of the reasoning he used to bully me into buying our previous house. Either way, I found out his new address, called the company that originated the loan and updated them with his current information. So hopefully they'll be picking up their car any day now. DL, doctor, left ex-husband, found out he cheated on me with an ex-roommate for years, contacted his baby mama to have her child support reevaluated and had his payment doubled, then reached out to his car loan company and updated his home address so they can repo the car he defaulted on. Also tried to clarify the second paragraph more since people want to get butthurt and make assumptions. Hi guys, please like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. To be honest, I lost track of who ducked with whom in the whole fuckery in the middle of the post. Well, it sounds like he pooped in his own bed repeatedly, and gave you all of the ammunition you needed. I have no respect for deadbeat parents. Good job being the universe's tool to hold them accountable. Be nice to know how far Op got along in her nursing. Also very kind to help his kid get a little more child support. I'm just going to say it. You basically laid out a hierarchy of poop bags with you being somewhere in the middle of the chain. I seriously doubt someone who can be married to such trash can be spotless herself. Nice revenge though. I wouldn't call it impressive, but given the history you've provided, I'm sure he will be feeling it for a couple years. You sound bitter as duck lol. I don't even know why you got involved with that dude, but this sub is for ProRevenge and you definitely did it. Hopefully you can put that all in your past and be thankful you didn't procreate with this dude.